The 1996 Pro 10 World Championships was held at Revelation Raceway in Montclair, Ontario, California. The main manufacturers for the title were Team Associated, Trinity, Yakomo, HPI and Coralie. Team Associated came up with the idea of running a smaller car. With the width of 210 mm and a shorter wheelbase, the chassis was actually more like a 1/11th scale car, similar to what Team HPI was running. But not all the Associated team drivers were using this chassis. Also, until the end of the meeting it was not clear if a regular Pro 10 or the small beast would be the better choice. In the end, Mike Swadger won with the conventional RC10L. His chassis was prepared by the legendary Ron Paris. 1 year later, a new Team Associated chassis was released, the RC10L2. Trinity brought an updated version of their EV10 chassis. Most visible changes were a wider chassis and a new type of front end. The overall look of the chassis was very similar to the Switchblade 10 chassis later released, but with the inline battery still in use. HPI team drivers tried a new prototype at the meeting, beside the proven RS10G. This chassis was using a lot of parts from the RS10G, with the same double A-arm front end and the same rear pod and suspension system. The main difference was the much smaller width, also the wheelbase was reduced. New parts were a wider brace for rear body posts, and a longer tube replacing the dish-type damper. Also, the RS10G used a new center shock which was from an early version of what was used on the RS4 touring car. The new narrow car got the name Roadstar RS10GW. The 210 mm wide production chassis was released for sale at the end of 1996. Coralie brought their new C10 chassis to the meeting. David Spachet, coming off a second-place finish at the previous Worlds held at Sonneberg, Germany, put the car into the A-Main final. David looked like he struggled to find the perfect setup for the C10 and he missed out on a podium finish at Revelation Raceway. The car's handling looking ever so slightly nervous and unpredictable throughout the event, but David drove it fantastically to get it into contention for a good finishing position. Masami Hirosaka and Barry Baker both drove Yakomo's YRX-10 prototype. The car's most unique features were its unconventional battery mounting system and wishbone-shaped, two-piece T-bar. 3 batteries were mounted in line and 3 batteries were mounted across the chassis. An arrangement that, according to Yakomo, provided superior weight distribution. Another talking point at the 96 Pro 10 World Championships was that possibly, IFMAR officials at the event were completely ignoring the officially written IFMAR, ERFA body rules, and were allowing unapproved one-off bodies to be used. A leading body shell company thought that the cheating was so rampant it was unbelievable. The accusation was that some racers were having custom bodies pulled every evening at a local RC bodymaker shop, just down the road from Revelation Raceway. Something that has never been proven, but if it did happen, then unfair advantages could have been found in such an aero-sensitive class like Pro 10. The only slight problem with this accusation was that most of the top contenders had highly professional paint schemes. Seems a little difficult to imagine getting such brilliant-looking bodies painted up overnight for racing the next day, but not an impossible task for a professional body painter. As the early qualifying rounds kick off, Mike Swadger gets into the rhythm quickly and heads straight to the number 1 spot. His Ron Paris prepared 10L looking smooth and fast from the first heat. Here's a look at the qualifying order after the first phase of rounds. Mike Swadger leading the 2 British drivers of David Spachet and the buggy specialist Craig Drescher. Another notable driver from the dirt scene was the legend, Brian Kinwald in 8th spot. He got up to speed quickly in the different environment of on-road racing. Masami Hirosaka, with his usual 110% concentration face on. A sun-drenched late afternoon run trying to find those last few tenths of a second, in the hope to add another world championship to his tally. Masaaki Hirasaka on the stopwatch, as Masami pushes the Yokomo to its limits. The Yokomo hierarchy watching over and looking moderately confident in the performance of the chassis. Barry Baker staying on late into the afternoon, looking for any setup changes to get his Yokomo into its Zen mode. Last to leave the track, and first to arrive the next morning. That's exactly the dedication needed to become world champion. Batteries used at the meeting were nearly all Sanios CRC 1700 mAh, with Team Orion Reedy UMAX batteries having 8 of the top 10 in the A final. Yokomo SCRC and Trinity GMVIS filling the other 2 positions in the final. 12 and 13 turn motors were the bomb for the track layout. Reedy getting 5 of their motors into the A final, with MaxTech, Trinity, Peak, Coralie and East Coast getting 1 each and also. On the speed controller front, Novak Cyclone, LRP IPC, and Tekken X9 were the choice of the finalists. Jocko pink and white compound tires were by far the most popular, with 9 of the top 10 using them. Tony Niesinger the only odd one out, and he was using BSR pink front with white rear compound tires. Protoform Nissan P35 bodies had 6 out of the top 10 using them, with 2 Andes Mercedes, and 2 associated Nissans being used by the 2 Baby 10Ls. Josh Cyril in full concentration mode, trying to edge the little 10L closer to Mike's full-size 10L. The smaller version starting to look like a real contender, especially in the hands of Josh. A nice bit of two-wheel action from Josh as he clips the dot coming onto the main straight. Masami is slowly creeping the Yokomo up the starting grid. But, at this late stage of qualifying, he still is struggling to get everything exactly right. Another qualifying round for the top heat of drivers. Mike Swadger continuing his hot form and setting the pace again. A jam-packed pit and track surrounds, out to watch the next round of qualifying. The excitement growing, with everyone wondering if anyone can knock Mike Swadger off the top spot, with only a few rounds to go. A nice shot of Mike Swadger's associated 10L motoring down the main straight and sweeping around turn 1. He's really setting the track on fire in this qualifying heat. Brian Kinwald, enjoying some great California weather and Pro 10 racing. His fluorescent yellow Protoform P35 and Trinity chassis looking good, but not perfect on track. The Trinity Dirtinator 13 triple pumping out plenty of horsepower in the back pod. Brian looking over the timing sheet and wondering where he's going to find the extra lap time to get into the final and challenge for the win. Both the weather and the racing was hot at Revelation Raceway. Possibly this is sweat pouring out of the pits as the finals loom. A nice low-angle shot of the cars navigating turn 1. Pit crew and drivers nervously await their next qualifying round. Looks like there's a meeting in the Trinity garage to discuss their progress through qualifying. Ernie Prevetti chilling out in the pits and wanting to have a closer look at Jim Dieter's latest chariot. Looks like there's been a slight change of direction with Joel's chassis. The inline battery pack layout has been replaced with a saddle pack configuration. With the way qualifying has gone, there might be a need for some more magic dust to be sprinkled over Joel's chassis. The 92 Champ isn't fully dialed in and at one with the new chassis yet. A bit of shoulder shrugging isn't a positive sign, but you can never rule out the Magic Man. Not sure if David Spashit or his chassis and batteries are trying to cool off from the Californian heat. David's Coralie C10 cutting some laps in qualifying. The C10 looks a little loose in a few corners, which could be chassis. But the track temperature looks to be a bit toasty also. A little check under the hood after another qualifying run with the C10. As Ron Paris does a little wrenching on Mike Swager's 10L, we'll have a look at the A finalists. 1. Mike Swager. 2. Josh Cyril. 3. Barry Baker. 4. Masami Hirasaka. 5. Joel Magic Johnson. 6. David Spashett. 7. Tony Niesinger. 8. Sak Animi. 9. Mike LaFaso. 10. Craig Drescher. Getting ready for the second A final. A nice look at Mike Swager's Andy's Sauber Mercedes body shell. Super cool paint scheme. Getting the number 1 RC10L2 all snug and ready to rock off pole position. Mike Swager won the first final and now is on the verge of winning the 1996 Pro 10 World Champs.
Barry Baker, Masami Hirasaka, clean, beautiful start. And they curl back through the turn down here at State Street. Walk on leave down on the side. Through the short tube. Out of the curl. Okay, here they come around for the second lap, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike Swager. Run down here at the blue. That's the 3-car piled up. Turn to the ball.
Alright, now, the race is settled and after a few laps Mike's 10L2 leads the way from Josh's baby 10L. Mike's got great traction out of the corners, and his motor and batteries are producing plenty of herbs.
And Swager's running away right now. Girls on second right now. Masami's running very big here out of the loop. Tony Dice here. Mike LaFaso talking on the Jay's Pass here. Running this. 4-car back in the pack. That's nice and sure with hits on the inside. Past that, they're all running together. Masami and Baker running together towards State Street. Masami catching the pitch to the inside in turn 5. Baker right on the hill. Pitching to the inside down the back straightaway. To the inside by Barry Baker. Barry hits on the inside of Masami Hirasaka right now. So he has a little over 2 minutes down. 150 left to go on the master clock, ladies and gentlemen. Masami trying to fight back against Baker. He's got your leader going through the edges right now. Followed by the number 2 door of John Cyril. Back in the back, he's running third. Barry Baker's running fourth. Ninth here, running fifth. 4-car back in the pack. That's nice and sure with hits on the inside. Past that, they're all running together. Masami and Baker running together towards State Street. Masami catching the pitch to the inside in turn 5. Baker right on the hill. Pitching to the inside down the back straightaway. To the inside by Barry Baker. Barry is on the inside of Masami Hirasaka right now, so he has a little over 2 minutes down. 150 left to go on the master clock, ladies and gentlemen. Masami trying to fight back against Baker. He's got Niesinger right behind him. And they're starting to bunch up a little bit in the back right now. It's Butler trying to do it here in Tisco action. Yeah, it's probably slow go right. Pull away like Mike Swager's doing right now. Mike's taking a nice, easy run right now. And he still continues to be the fastest car on the track right now. Baker really holding up Masami. Cyril not even close to Swager, as Swager's on the back straight. Here comes John Cyril around the horn and Baker the bottom. Mid down the lane they go with Masami running in third. Make that 4. They go on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, no position in jeopardy, Mr. B. Yep, Mike Swager straight out. Looks like John Cyril's trying to close the gap on a little bit, but John jumped real hard that last run. Mike's got this snap off of the corner, so in the turns, he's getting real bit fine out of those turns. Just about everybody turning 22.7 that last lap. Swager had a 23 flat that last lap. Josh had a 22.6. Barry with a 22.8. Masami with a 23 flat. 15 seconds left to go on the master clock, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Swager coming around for one more lap for his world championship win. Baker tossed it in a little bit popped over to the back straight away. Here comes John Cyril trying to put a move on Mike Swager.
Mike Swager closes it out in style, with 2 straight wins in the finals. Josh Cyril's Mini 10L really came home strong but failed to close the gap. Mike was probably being very cautious bringing it in for the win also. Congratulations to the new Pro 10 World Champion, Mike Swager.
Hey, champ. Got time.
It was over.
It's not even in gas.
That last lap, he's done. I'm like, we're not.
Absolutely fantastic to see the pure joy in Ron Paris as he wins his first world championship. His passion for the hobby was second to none. After all his close calls in nitro racing, and after all the incredible modified nitro engines he produced, he wins his first world champs in Pro 10 electric racing. Congratulations, Ron.
You can calm down from there. No more heart attack.
The final race of the 1996 Pro 10 World Championships. Mike Swadger would have a nice comfortable seat in the shade somewhere to enjoy watching the third final.
All right, to start, ladies and gentlemen, the final A-main.
The 9 remaining A-main drivers are off and running in the third final. The 2 remaining positions on the podium up for grabs.
Henry Baker leads them out, followed by the Magic Man and Joel Johnson needing a good run. The third, top 0. Baker out front, followed by Joel Johnson. Johnson's all over the back door. Baker right now. Looks like oh yeah. Let's not bring that up. Okay, Baker's out front right now. Johnson's all over the back door. 23-3 for Barry. 23-3 time.
A forceful but fair move from Joel Johnson to take the lead from Barry Baker.
Take the lead over Barry Baker right now, ladies and gentlemen. Stretch it out. Over Barry Baker. Johnson rolls, holds on to third position right now, and just pulls away from the rest of the field. Like, it's incredible, these guys are stretching out so far, this far into the race. Bobby Heisinger picked up a position now, and he is running in the number 4 spot. As we're working our way up to the 2-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in this race. Joel's trying to stretch it out. Yeah, Joel needs this position too. We did burn out a pathetic years that last run. And they're working their in. Through the infield down the short chute. Johnson stretching out over Barry Baker right now. 5/10 of a second separating Joel Johnson from Barry Baker. And Johnson rolls the third position, sits 1.2 seconds behind second position right now. They go down the back straight, first, second, and third, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, Sanchez working on the back of the white car coming down the hill. That's 29 Heisinger, the white car. Dave Sanchez, your former champion, working in the 5th place spot. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go on the master clock, ladies and gentlemen. Johnson's last lap by 22.7. Barry Baker, 22.7. Josh, 22.7. Neisser, 22.6. Patchett, 22.6. Taking up the leader once again, coming out off the smoking sweeper, off the curve, now through the center S's, the Magic Man. Joel Johnson leads them through once again, through the short chute, out of Mark Ball and toe, curl coming to the loop. This is lap number 8. As we're coming up to the 3-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the master clock right now. It's Joel Johnson out in front of pink and white car. Going down the back straight into the first turn. There's Johnson, they work their way through the S's. It looks like Johnson. Oh, God, get the trouble, close the corner. This thing was starting to close in on Barry Baker. And right now it looks like Baker's starting to close in on Joel Johnson right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's 1.7 seconds separating Barry Baker from Joel Johnson right now. Yeah, they're going at it. Patchett and Neisser are going at it. And Masami and Drescher in the back of the pack going at it. Masami's trying to work his way up to the field right now.
Barry Baker really closing in on Joel. And with a friendly little nudge, he finds a way by Joel Magic Johnson.
Barry Baker moves out front. There's 3/10 of a second. Barry forced a pass on him, and Johnson's coming back all over the back door of Barry Baker. And Barry takes the pressure. Johnson's used to it. Baker's not. They go through the S's, through the John, short two, through the girl. And Johnson put the pressure all on him.
Mike Swadger is the 1996 Pro 10 World Champion. Sensational display from both Mike and Ron on their dominance of the event. 1. Swadger. 2. Baker. 3. Cyril. 4. Johnson. 5. Spashett. 6. Neisinger. 7. Hirasaka. 8. Anini. 9. Lufeso. 10. Drescher.